Hello friends, this is Sukhwant Singh. I shall try to talk about the great sayings of the great saint Bhagat Fareed ji, whose sayings are recorded in Shri Guru Granth Sahib ji. Few of his sayings which I remember right now are like, फरीदा जे तू अकल लतीफ तां लिख ना काले लेख अपनेड़े गिरे बान में सिर नीवा कर वेख. Fareed ji says, "Oh my friend, if you consider yourself to be intelligent, Farida jetu akal latif." He himself is telling this to himself. Oh Fareed, you call yourself to be intelligent. Don't write deeds which will amount for being put under the category of being wrong. Lekh na kale lekh. Because whatever we do and say and even think, they get recorded. Gurbani elsewhere also says, Puni papi akhan nahi, kar karna likh le jaye. पुण्य और पाप सिर्फ कहने की बातें नहीं हैं. पुण्य पापी आखण नाही, कर करना लिख ले जाए. Whatever you are doing, it's getting written and goes with us. कर करना लिख ले जाए, आपे बीज आपे ही खाए. Guru Nanak Dev Ji has written this in Japji Sahib, that whatever you sow, you yourself will reap its fruit. No one else will come and help you in doing so. So Fareed ji is also giving us a forewarning through this. He says, Farida jetu akal latif likhna kale lekh ap nede gireban mein sir niwa kar vek. What you are, look at that and then try to improve. If you look within yourself, then you don't need anyone to come and tell you about where you stand. You can see your own faults. So try to rectify those faults, and in case you see within yourself certain good things, then feel nice about it, feel good about it, and then live a better life. Further he says, काले मेंढे कपड़े काला मेंढा वेश गुणीहीन मैं फिरां लोकी कहण दरवेश. He says, my clothes are black, are dark, so are my deeds. काले मेंढे कपड़े काला मेंढा वेश गुणीहीन मैं फिरां. I move around with no virtue. I have no virtue in me. Yet, people, when they look at me, they call me Darvesh. They call me a person who belongs to the God. But Fareed ji himself is denying the fact that he is closer to God, because when he sees within himself, I've seen this with all the great saints. None of them have ever claimed that they are excellent, they are good. They've all looked within themselves and they've called themselves to be something which needed improvement. So if these great people like Fareed ji, like Guru Nanak Dev Ji, like Kabir ji, like Jesus, if they themselves are so humble, then why should we, ordinary human beings, feel proud about ourselves? And then further, Fareed ji says, रोटी मेरी काठ की, रोटी मेंढी काठ की, लावण मेरी भुख, खादी जिना चोपड़ी, परे सहन गए दुख. He says, my bread, the roti that I eat, is dry and hard like that of a wood. Roti meri kaat ki, lavan meri pok. My bread may be high and dry, but it helps me to come over my hunger. Lavan meri pok. Khadi jina chopdi, pare sain ge dukh. He says, those who eat the bread by putting a lot of butter on it, घी लगा के जो खाते हैं, चोपड़ी. It doesn't mean, literally doesn't mean that you start eating dry bread and give up on butter and all. No. Fareed's sayings have a deeper meaning too. He's telling us that don't look at the luxuries that probably you may not be having and keep feeling sorry about it. The grass looks greener on the other side. This is what Fareed is trying to say in these lines. Roti meri kaat ki, lavan meri pok. We need to develop the kind of attitude that will enable us to remain happy with whatever we have. Long before I had read, when I was a kid, I had read a novel written by Kamala Markandhya titled A Handful of Rice. Those days, I used to feel a little upset that, well, my parents and like we don't have the kind of luxuries which few of my other friends or few of other people living in the town were having. And I used to feel a little sorry about it. But when I read this beautiful novel by Kamala Markandhya, A Handful of Rice, in that the protagonist is a poor man. And for me as a child, this was my first exposure to understanding that the poor people, how they think. And in this particular novel, the dream of this protagonist, the hero of the story, was to have a handful of rice which he could keep in his kitchen, as he could store in his kitchen, so that when needed, he could have it. Otherwise, his condition was hand to mouth. Whatever he earned, he had to spend that and then fill his stomach and fill the stomach of his family members. There was nothing in his kitchen. And when I compared it with the kitchen of my mother, I found that the kitchen was all full of the ration. It had various jars in which my mother had put the pulses and beans, and there was a tin of flour and rice. Everything was there in the kitchen, from pickles, from fruits. So I considered that I was so lucky, so fortunate in comparison to the protagonist of that particular book of Kamala Markandhya. And another dream that this protagonist had was, like, he used to live on the footpath of one of the roads in the city, and he used to look around and see people moving around in the bicycles, and he used to feel bad. His dream used to be that he used to wish that he could own one bicycle, and then he used to imagine owning a bicycle and how he would take care, how he would ensure that the spokes of his bicycle, the wheels, the rim, he would keep it neat and clean. He used to feel sorry when he used to see people, the children of rich people, not cleaning their bicycles. So that was again kind of solace to my young heart, because I considered myself to be very lucky, very fortunate, because my house was full of bicycles. There was no dearth of them. Not only bicycles, we also had a scooter. So immediately a sense of happiness had fallen upon me. So this Fareedji's slok again and again keeps reminding me of these things, where we should never feel sorry about what we are, rather always feel happy about the blessings that we have with us. Roti meri kaat ki, lavan meri pok, khadi jina chopdi, pare sain ge tok. Now here, those who eat buttered bread, it has a literal meaning also. Maybe medically we will become unfit if we'll eat too much of butter. But in figurative sense, it means if we keep losing our heart at the thought that we don't have this, we don't have that, that also will psychologically have its impact on us. And one more slok which I would end today's video, that is again of Fareed ji, where he says, Rukhi sukhi khai ke thanda pani piyo, vekh parai chopdi na tarsaye jiyo. He says, eat a dried up bread. Develop that habit. That is, remain satisfied with whatever you have. Rukhi sukhi khai ke thanda pani piyo. Have cold water. And remember, Fareed ji's time, there were no refrigerators. All that probably the luxury that they could have was to have the water from the pot, earthen pot. So we are so fortunate that we are having the facility of having the refrigerators, the ice cubes, they come out of the refrigerator automatically nowadays. So enjoy those things. Enjoy the simplicity of life. Rukhi sukhi khai ke thanda pani piyo, vekh parai chopdi na tarsaye jiyo. When you look at someone's buttered bread, don't lose your peace of mind. Feel happy that others have better things than you. Maybe if we'll put in our efforts, sincere efforts, one day we will also have those things. That kind of attitude we need to develop and live with, instead of brooding and feeling sorry and not enjoying what we already have with us. So I hope you must have liked what I have said. I look forward to your comments, suggestions, and in case you haven't so far subscribed, please subscribe the channel, and if you like, please share it with others. Thank you so much.